Great. Welcome. Monica's cousin, Isaac, is joining us from Costa Rica. Welcome. Love. Thank you, Melba. So glad to see you here. Melba is actually doing some amazing project for women. Melba, you want to share that with us, if you like?
Sure. I have the honor of leading the Women's Committee that will create more events and more things to reach out to our community and to empower women. And yeah, we just kicked it off this week, so I'm excited to lead it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Melba. Yes, just immediately volunteer, helping this very important. It's a Dao Science. We set up a committee to help with women's issues. So any of you have any good suggestions, we'd like to help with that. Thank you, Melba. Thank you, Dr. Criswello, for the email. I'll send you an invitation. Yes. Okay, great. So welcome to this introduction about how to heal the trauma and the wounds of separation, equality, and disconnection. Before I start, I want to share a story. This actually, I recently read an article in Chinese. They write about actually this, about a lot of those deserted girls. In China, one-child policy is very unfortunate. A lot of girls being deserted by the family. So, but later they're being adopted by Western parents. And apparently this is, a lot of adoption, close to, 1 million. And a lot of those girls, so now they grow up and actually become extremely successful. In fact, many of them, like a lot of this, like one after another, many of them are winning all kinds of champions in Olympics or in their areas they are working at, like an architect or the art, in the science, in almost all the fields, extremely successful. And some of them, in fact, went back to China. Actually, many of them went back to China, even find their birth parents and meet with them and even express their deepest gratitude to their birth parents for giving the birth to them. So this is one of them, being deserted by our parents just because we are a girl at our birth. This is one of the biggest trauma. So many of you may be thinking, oh, I don't have trauma. But we all have trauma, even at birth, just leaving mother's womb. At that moment, that is actually a dramatic moment. I know people have even, actually myself, I did this. It's really fun when I was in Hawaii. In Hawaii, we have a good life, right? Especially me, I don't work that hard. And so I would try all kind of, whatever the healing modalities I would try. Just actually, I wasn't enlightened enough to really realize I have a lot of things to working on, but I was just curious, one of the, what other people are doing for healing. It is the birth, I think they trying to get you back to the wombs and then go back to that memory and to heal the trauma of the birth. And I remember I did that it was actually is quite helpful, very, very helpful. There are so many traumas we all have. For myself, I have to work with some deep traumas. Even, I consider myself, life is pretty smooth, do not have a lot of trauma, but actually I realize I have some deep, deep traumas and which need to work through. We all has. If we're in a human form, because we have some traumas, yeah, because our true self, the potential is so huge. Our true self has amazing powers and abilities. So first I want to share with you, so why I'm here and share with you what I am doing. And find my book, Dao Science book. So I can find, so I have this book, but not the Dao Science book here. Okay. So I'm Dr. Rulin, co-founder and co-author of Dao Science. Oh, here's my book. Okay. Dao Science with Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha. Many of you know about Master Sha. He's a world-renowned spiritual healer and leader, teacher, and also New York Times bestselling author for many books. And I think he published more than 20 books, and I think 11 of them are best-selling authors. So, I grew up in China and then also come to US and to do my graduate study. And I studied physics, trying theoretical physics, but I wasn't very successful. In fact, I gave it up, went to set up a business, and then moved to Hawaii. And so in Hawaii, I started my healing journey, and then later met Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha, and that completely changed my whole life. And with his guidance and with his healing and blessing, so I'm still gradually releasing a lot of trauma that is within myself. Being the only woman, also one or two only women in the physics, often like, as in college, we have our class have 34 students, only 2 women. And then I come to UC Berkeley, and in the theoretical physics in a group, I think we have 30 or 40 people, usually only have 1 or 2 women, around 2 women. So it's very, and so I have to say, women, I just truly want women become more successful and, go to come to the physics. And actually, recently I went to a physics conference and really actually see much, much more women in the theoretical physics field. So, um, um, so as a woman, we we have a lot of our own um, we, issues, and also it is actually interesting. When I was in the college, there's one when I go to college, I was actually determined don't do physics, do not do science, do not do mathematics, which I'm very, very good at, because I don't want to be like a boring scientist. To me, the scientist life is very miserable. It's keep me alive, away from life, and away from people. But in college, I was get to hear about um, uh, Einstein's dream to find the grand unification theory. I was so inspired. I was like, wow, this is something I want to find. Grand unified theory, grand unified field. That is actually what Einstein wanted to find. He realized everything is a field, right? So field is like, flower field, a cornfield, right? It's just something extended over space and time, and does not restrict it, but extends over space and time. And so everything is actually a field. Nothing is as solid as it looks. So I find there's one field that includes everyone, everything, and that's where everything comes from. So I was so inspired by that idea. Somehow I just said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Um, but I never feel like this is my dream to become a scientist. I come to the science, just find this grand unified field, and then I'm going to leave and start my real life. And so, um, um, so, but that dream, the dream to find a grand unified field, I worked really, really hard in the college and the grad school, but cannot find it. And it's not just me, other physicists, much more brilliant than me, and they cannot find it. It was interesting, actually, when I was decided, I was inspired to do this. One of the things, actually, the message I got is, I was chosen to do this partly because I'm a woman. I actually really is because I'm a woman, and I think differently from men. Most physicists are men. They have their way of thinking, very analytical. But because I'm a woman, I have different way of thinking, which is actually exactly what's needed for finding this grand unified field. So that's what actually started my journey of finding the grand unified field. And but I wasn't be able. I worked really hard, and I wasn't be able to do it. And in fact, I gave up on physics. Went to Hawaii, set up a business, become quite successful, and then I met Master Sha, become a healer, and serving him, trying to spread his healing. And so in one of his workshops, and his healing really helped me actually release the blockages. And so this grand unification, just also Master Sha's, his wisdom, his guidance, his blessings. So now we work on co-created the Dao Science, and this science is a grand unification theory, and it can unify the science and spirituality together at the fundamental level mathematically, which is because a lot of people they see they can bring science and spirituality together, I think our contribution is we can do it mathematically and also at the fundamental level. So this science, so some people are asking about why it's called the Dao Science. So Dao here, it is, Dao means the source. So Dao Science is a science about the source. It's about creation. It is about how everything is created. And then how you can create anything. So this science really very empowering. It can empower us to manifest the things we truly want. I remember once I taught a class workshop on the Dao Science about how to manifestation. And one of the students, he was in that workshop. Later, he told me, after the workshop, later he write me a email actually from my Facebook. He said within 1 week of that, after the workshop, he within 1 week, he find the ideal living situation. Later, his parents actually told me the living situation is they had this beautiful, the most beautiful apartment, most beautiful and in the best locations, like a dream apartment, like millions of dollars apartment, and then somehow people let them to live there for a few years or something for free, and also in that 1 week, he also got his dream job, right? And then that 1 week, he got dream girlfriend. So everything in his life in just 1 week in that workshop. So this is the power of Dao Science. Dao Science is really can empower us to create a life we want. So you will see, how Dao Science can do that. Because Dao Science teaches us how everything is created, how everything is created at the deepest, highest level, including how the whole universe is created. Like every aspect of our life is how it is created. So if you really know this, how everything created, then you can create anything. Actually, that's what Dao Science teaches us, how you can create anything, actually very easily. Through the joy, through the love. So that is the power of Dao Science. And so about the women issue. So about, this young girls, they're going through, they were born to have tremendous trauma happens to them because the world, racial or sexual injustice, inequality. This is a huge wound, a huge trauma for those girls. But how they were able to actually not only heal this trauma, but in fact being empowered by this trauma and triumph, to triumph the trauma, try and bring achieve greater success in life. So how could this be possible? How they did that? So I was reading about it, and they did it, this is what has happened is, so from Dao Science point of view, they did many things right. First of all, to heal the trauma, the first thing to heal the trauma from Dao Science point of view is to, so in Dao Science, everything we created is because of the information. Information we give to ourselves, information we give to others determines what is happening in our life. So those girls, they experience the the trauma because of the negative information existed in the society and in their family. And possibly, so when they were born, there's all kind of negative information caused this trauma. But they were lucky and they were able to heal it. So what is the way to heal the trauma? To heal the trauma is first we need to change the information. So they were lucky they'd be adopted by loving parents. They really want them, need them, give them love. So that is the number one elements for healing the trauma. To completely change the information. So in their original home, because of those negativities in the society and in the family, the parents, so they were being given the negative information, but they've been put in the new environment, giving the positive information. They are being wanted, they're being loved, and they're being treasured, they're being honored and respected and blessed. Yeah, so that is the first elements, how to heal the trauma. Second element, which is all these girls, they did it really right, is their parents did it right, is the parents, they, to heal the trauma, we need to face the situation. So these parents actually, a lot of them, they even have apparently club or something, association. They often actually meet. They have the girls to connect with each other, spend time together. They also bring them back to China and they tell them the truth. Have them facing the truth early on. So some people said, some people may take a different attitude, say, oh, this is so tragic, right? And this is so horrible. Is trying to hide the truth from them. Or just don't let them know about this very horrible thing about where they come from. But that is not the right attitude. So many of us, we try to forget about the trauma. We trying to pretend it does not exist. Or we trying to ignore it. We trying to cover it up, put up, makeup or whatever, and just trying to cover it up. That's not going to help. If you're trying to do that, then you're not be able to be empowered, actually. The trauma, all the negativities, one of the things that Dao Science teaches us is that they actually come here to empower us. They come here to teach us. So if you can facing them, then you can be empowered by them, become much stronger. So those girls, the parents, they really did right. They had their girls know about their past. They've been deserted. They even take them like a very young age to China, to where they were born. Even, I was reading about one girl, even they went to the hospital. She was born. And later, many of them actually went to visit their, birth parents. So they face the fact. We have to face it. To hide, to ignore, to neglect would not only not going to help us, and actually is going to pull our spirit down. But when we can face it, then our spirit and our consciousness, our whole existence can be uplifted. This is what happened to these girls. It was amazing. It was like literally astonishing how many of these girls are so successful. They are like at the top of everything. I will not surprise in the future, some of those girls can become a leader, a president. Maybe not the US president because they are born in China. So facing the trauma, facing the wounds is absolutely critical. And to realize that trauma is not something bad. Trauma is something to empower us, to teach us, to make us stronger. It's actually a powerful resources if we really choose to face it and to work with it. So we come to this life to be empowered, to reach higher consciousness, to expand ourself, our existence. The best way to do it is by facing our trauma, rather than be beaten by our trauma, by our wounds. That is what happened for so many people. Be beaten and suffering. But we do not have to. The challenges and difficulties, the trauma and the wounds, if we don't face them, they control our lives, and they really like imprison us. They limit our power, make us depressed, Or maybe you still maybe feel good, but they limit our potentials, limits our joy, the love, and success we can experience in our lives. So we all need to face our traumas. Yeah, I had one consultation with one beloved one. She actually come to the consultation about maybe like about her job or something, but then she was actually I was talking to her, and then I realized what's really bothering her is actually one of the trauma that happened to her when she was 7 years old. And somebody or some other girls showed her something which really traumatized her, actually brought something very, very miserable actually to her. She has to face it every day, actually. It was really, really horrible. And for more than 30 years, she trying to get rid of it. She did everything. But her whole life is completely ruined by actually what has happened. She don't know how to get rid of it. So I did a healing for her. And that was completely gone. And also teach her how she can live a new life. So I helped her to face it, and also I helped her to release that negative information. The trauma is really caused by the negative information. So if we can release that negative information, then the trauma can be healed very quickly. But if we don't heal them, every aspect of our life can be limited. And so this beloved one, beloved woman, she suffers so much from it. It was like too horrible even to describe. In fact, she could not even describe to anyone. She trying to work it out, tried everything. And there are so many women out there and has so much trauma has happened recently. This is a younger girl. She also had some sexual assault. That negative information will stay in her body, stay in her memory, stay in her heart, stay in her mind, stay in her energy field. Going to cause her so much suffering and misery and distress if it is not released. And so many of us, that they're just with us. So when that can be released, then your life can be completely different. If it's not released, the rest of the life could still be in that suffering state. And that suffering can pass on to our family, next generation, and in many generations to come. Sometimes many generations trying to work out this one trauma. Which we are not aware of. So working out our trauma is right now is so important for every aspect of our lives. And the key is to facing our trauma and the wounds. Even find what's the wounds and what are the wounds and what are the trauma maybe in our lives. When I was went to Hawaii and started my healing journey there. And one of the things at that time, I was, I think, close to the 40 years old. And I was suddenly realized, wow, I realized like all my life, I was very much loved by people and I love people as well, but I did not really like in love. And so I tried to find out like, why is that? And then I realized my trauma, I never faced it myself. I was kidnapped maybe around 3 years old. My mom took me to the street. Somebody stole me. And then they and then later on, so they get scared because so many people, they were trying to look for me and, police also searching for me. So they got scared and so they throw me to the river. But this, I don't know how many days actually. Somebody wrote about this whole story. I did not even read it, and and I don't remember anything. Right now, I still don't remember anything what has happened. So I think it's just too dramatic, and I don't remember this even happened to me. So when people talk about it, I thought, I don't even know it's about me or about somebody else. And but that trauma must have a deep impact on me. So when I was in Hawaii, doing all kinds of kind of exploring all this amazing healing stuff, and I realized, wow, that this memory I have never really healed. I never even faced it. I wasn't upset about it. I remember because all my dad's colleague, they all went out to look for me during those times. So every time they see me, they would see, we all went out to look for you. So I would just like, listen. Yeah, I don't know what to say, and I just don't remember anything. And so I actually, so I did some healing on that. Did a forgiveness practice and trying to heal that part of myself. And so after that, I was really able actually open my heart and really actually find the true love and really, really be able to deeply in love with people. So healing and yeah, in fact, just have amazing, I just had an amazing, I just had an amazing life in Hawaii. And So healing our wounds is so, so, so important. Sometimes we do not even know about it. And it is really worthwhile actually find what are the wounds are and then really look into them. And willing to face it. At the beginning, maybe it's not so pleasant to face it, but it does worth every bit of our effort. Because if we don't face it, literally, we're being like prison. We'll be present in the, put on the chains. We lose our own freedom. We be controlled by some negativity, almost like a monster controls us. And we won't be able to do things we really want to do. So finding the wounds, finding the traumas we need to face, it's very critical for healing our lives, to liberate ourselves. Liberate, unleash our higher potentials, have more joy, more love, and a greater success in our life. So when we think about the women's series, women's empowerment, the first thing I thought about is actually this healing the wounds. This is so urgent for all of us. We all have certain wounds to heal. In fact, the success is about healing one after another traumas. Some is very deep, very profound, very deep. And I want to share this with you. Some of you, I don't know, maybe you know, I don't know, some of you maybe don't believe past lives, but I remember, so I was working on the Dao Science, and working on the Dao Science, and so I wrote a paper, and then was on the way to Greece, in Greece, to present some of my in the International Physics Conference, to present some of our results. And so when I went the first flight to Asen, and then from there I had to change to another flight to go to an island where the conference is. So I get off the plane in Asen, and I just walk out, and I suddenly realized, wow, everybody here, I know them. Like it's like a deja vu. I know everyone here in the airport. And it was like really strange. And then it was like the image just comes. I have lived in Greece before. And because I wasn't spreading I know certain wisdoms, but I did not really spread it. And it caused huge disasters. Like people died of earthquake, and died of volcano eruption. It was like horrible images just show up, like spiritual images show up in my third eye. And I was this airport and experiencing all this stuff. So when I realized that, I was like, I suddenly realized, before actually, I don't want to do science all this years. I don't want to do science and all this stuff. And after that, I realized, wow, not only I need to do this science, I want to find this grand unified theory, grand unified field. And also I need to spread it. I need to do everything to spread it and use this to empower people. Like I have no choice. I have to do this because otherwise my life will not be complete coming to this life. But if I do it, I'll be so empowered. So when this message really helped. So I went to the conference. So in the conference, so I was, I gave a speech about my work, so get a very good response, and then afterwards, I think there's one person went up and talked about Einstein's work, and then Einstein also was talking to me, and as I got a message that that I really need not only share about my physics work, but also share my work how to bring science and spirituality together. Because I went to the physics conference to talk about physics. I did not really share about my work of the more spiritual work, how to bring science and spirituality together. So I got, Einstein really say, you need to do this. And so I immediately went there and talked to the organizer of the conference. I said, I did, have some other work, which I think is very important to share. And they said, okay, you send me your, your summary. So I sent to them summary, and so they actually agreed for me to talk about it in the conference. And not only that, and they also asked me to talk in the end to do a, they had a celebration and also give a speech there as well. And I remember those time I was giving a speech about how to bring science, spirituality together, first time in the physics conference. And you can just feel this, like, it is really a significant event. It's like so many, the energy, the whole vibration energy is like so significant. You can just feel, this is amazing. Things is happening. It's not me, it's really just I'm being a channel and doing that. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm just so empowered in that moment. So facing our traumas. So the trauma I was revealed to myself, it was actually, I don't know, some of you maybe don't believe the past life, but it's really a true experience I have. I have to face many lifetimes of trauma. And when I face it, it's brought me great empowerment. It's actually uplifted me. To be a much better person and to be able to achieve and serve at a greater scale, at a higher level. So I want to share this because I want to, this is one of the most important things for us to realize that trauma is actually something good, something we need to really value, something they come here to empower us. So for us women, and also men has so much trauma, all of us. So it's not just about women's empowerment. But I like to talk about women's empowerment. I remember when I was in Berkeley, I was so lonely, and because all the place I hang out, so much men, and so actually I organized women's women's volleyball team. And but we end up actually, we grow very fast. In the end, we had a 4 women's team. We often get together and practice and play together. And there's a four volleyball team, and we have half of it is actually men. so I'm not afraid. Just we talk about women's empowerment, men's going to join us. Because ultimately we are one. Women's empowerment is men's empowerment. We all have women and men within us, yeah. And women empowered, men will be empowered. So, so facing our trauma is it will empower us, yeah. So that is why actually we're going to have the workshop. So today is the introduction for the April 3rd, the Dao Science workshop for how to to heal the trauma and the wounds. And in fact, not just only heal, actually use the trauma and the wounds to empower us, to uplift our life to a higher level. So I have shared how to do it. The first is to get into a loving situation. Yeah, so this is one thing Dao Science can really teach us, that Dao is a creator, Dao is a source. So we're going to share with you, the source is within every one of us. When we connect with the source, and the source is ultimately, unconditionally, infinitely love us. When we can connect with the source love, then the deepest trauma can be healed. So this workshop, the first thing is to connect with the source love. And how to connect with the source love. So that will reveal, and also going to practice in the workshop. This is one of the most important things, connecting with that source love and really experiencing that source love. And for me, the healing really started when I realized I'm being loved by the source, by the divine. When I realized that all the rest of the wounds can be easily healed. If I don't realize that, and then it's not possible to heal. It's still a band-aid. Even you are trying to receive healings, it's still a band-aid. So, and then of course, and second, the healing is to need to change those negative information into positive information. So those are some of the amazing healing techniques Master Sha has introduced to us. So today we're going to do some demo. Anybody would like to receive a healing? And you can maybe, you can put down your name here. And also before we move forward, anybody has any questions? Any sharings, insights you would like to share? So Barbara Parks, Brittany Harris, like to be, Anne, Joanne Weisman, okay, Shirley, Ibri, Noel Woods, Nava. So Winnie Wang, and actually, she shared, so Winnie, you want to be a demo, to want to maybe receive, yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Winnie. Yeah, so Winnie actually are experiencing drama at this moment, and her husband want to end the relationship. Yeah, remember this is, the facing the trauma. This is a living trauma at this moment. But I'm laughing. I know it must be horrible to have this, but I'm also confident Winnie will be empowered by this situation. So. So, okay. So Winnie, you want to share how you feel at this moment?
Yeah, so this is actually the fourth time that my husband wanted to leave the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like, he keeps abandoning.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of difficult relationship, like me and the daughters. And, COVID has been very stressful for the family.
Yeah.
And, we're like at the end of COVID, and I'm like, we almost made it. And then, he just had the last straw, and he said that he just wants to not be in a relationship with me anymore. And so, separation is very painful.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe because I'm too attached to being married, because I'm too attached, I push too much, and then now I push something I want away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, I can see, so she's in this situation. So how we can heal this situation? Yeah. So first, first to know that, yeah, this situation show up to empower you. Yeah, Winnie. And there are, so obviously, this is the life trauma shows up, really reveal to us what's the negative information we have been giving to ourselves and to others. We just unconsciously doing that. By doing that, we limit our own potential in a significant way. Our own potential and our own like our own like like the your prospect to experiencing more love, more joy, and more success in our lives. So what he's revealing to yourself is some information that inside you that you carry and you tell yourself and tell others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this is, I was just trying to use Dao Science, yeah, to reveal. So the trauma when it show up, it really just shows us the negative information we have been telling ourselves and telling others. about ourselves and also or about other people. So first thing, of course, to realize you're being loved. Yeah, first thing to realize, well, we will do that. We will do a blessing to make you feel really, really loved. Yeah, and it's you're being loved in this situation, and whatever the situation is coming out to empower you, to uplift your life, so that you can enjoy more love, more joy, and more success in the future. So whatever that's coming up is, it's coming up this, what is a gift for you at this moment. And second is to realize what is happening is because the negative information. So we need to, we have given ourselves into others. So first, we would do a healing for beloved Winnie to release that negative information. And also we will find that negative information. What's negative information Winnie has been telling herself, or the Winnie has been inside herself that have caused this kind of situation. So we'll find out that for Winnie. And then we will also give Winnie some homework. How should, from now on, she need to live from more positive information. Yeah, because she has been giving herself, those negative information could come from her parents, could come from environment, or like this beloved one is some negative information that is got when her 7 years old. From whatever the source is. So we need to find that negative information. We're going to do the healing to change those information. And then we also going to find how Winnie can starting to telling her and also experiencing positive information. When she can starting to do that, you will see her life is going to change. In fact, we have several people here actually. There's one, it's several, we get their marriage back or relationship back. So, and actually the husband was deeply in love, changed into deeply in love with his wife, afraid his wife will leave him. So you're in the right place, really. Yeah, literally, like the husband later coming back to me, I want to have a consultation. He said, afraid her husband, before it was, situation was the opposite. But later her husband, after much healing and, also class and work, the marriage just turned around. It's before the husband maybe have some issue, want to leave. And later his husband was in love, completely in love, afraid the wife would leave. So all of this can be healed. Yeah. So we love you. And okay, so let's have so what do you so you want to receive this healing, Winnie? You have something to share?
Yeah, so it's very painful, and I meditated, and I saw my husband's, ex-husband's, I don't know what the term is, an old jacket that he used to wear. And in my meditation, I put on his jacket and I felt very warm. And I knew that was God talking to me, telling me that, that my husband is a gift to me, right? My husband was a gift to me 18 years ago. And, the sooner that I can see that he's the gift and see that God's been talking to me through him, the last 18 years, see that every conflict that we've had, every fight that we've had is actually God speaking to me through my husband about all the unhealed wounds that I have from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And that, the sooner I can see God in everything and every fight, and God in my husband or ex-husband, then the sooner I will find peace and acceptance with whatever, whether it's reconciliation or divorce, that, I just ask for peace and acceptance. And, God told me that the sooner I see God in him and see God in my ex or husband, and the sooner I see, God talking to me through every single fight, then the sooner I will find peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful message. Thank you for sharing that. And I also see the God is inside you.
Thank you for saying that. I think one of the core wounds that I have was that as a child, my parents really favored my brother. He was the son and he was given everything. And he needed to go to college, and I'm the daughter, and I just need to be skinny and pretty. My parents didn't care if I went to school, I had good grades, and they bought my brother everything. And it's growing up, that one of the conversation was my brother asked my dad if he married my mom just because of her body, and my dad just laughed. And grow up, like, I have memories of like my dad and my brother watching derogatory movies towards women. And my brother nor my dad respected my mom. And so in the marriage, I felt like maybe it was my wounds, but every time my husband would tell me something, I felt like it was mansplaining, that it was like, I know better because I'm a man, and you have to listen to me because you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's funny because both my husband and I are actually MIT educated, and I actually have a better GPA than him. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, it's not true. He doesn't know better than you. But still, I felt a lot of attack. And, I think that because of my unhealed inequality, that my mom was not respected at all in the house by my father or my brother, that I would manifest a husband who
Mm-hmm.
was very controlling, and he had to have everything his way, and he had a very big anger temper, and then he yelled at me a lot. And at the time I didn't recognize it was verbal abuse. And the PTSD was so bad that, I would hear his footsteps and I start shaking. I would hear him open and close the drawer, and I would start shaking. And I know God sent me this gift so that I can work on my childhood wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, to really start facing those negative information you have been giving since your childhood, think not honoring yourself.
And it's funny, Master Roland, because you said, I'm so willing to see the God in my husband, but I'm not willing to see the God in myself. It was really insightful, that clarity that you gave me, that, you know, deep down I still have this inequality that, you know, man is higher than woman.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for being here with us and be willing to show your, you know, your true self, which is brilliant, and yeah, willing to be, give us this. Yeah, you know, the since your childhood, because of how you brought up, those negative information have, you know, subconsciously inside you create this experience for you. Yeah, so now you realize you actually have better grades. You're beautiful. You're smart. In many ways, you're more awakened.
And I think that's why, you know, actually, I think God has better plans for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We both started on the science track, and, you know, but as I pursue the spirituality, I feel that my husband is very intimidated by my power. And
Mm-hmm.
as I become more and more powerful, you know, he basically told me that we can only be married if I am a local acupuncturist in the small town. You know, if I want to be global like Master Rulin, traveling around the world giving retreats, then he doesn't want anything to do with a woman who travels around the world. You know, he wants the woman to be home every night, you know, cooking dinner or whatever, serving him. So he only wants a wife who would be a local small town acupuncturist, but not one who travels around the world to spread a love, peace, harmony mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So actually, I know that it's actually God is giving me a gift because he's empowering me to expand in my service, you know, if I have the courage to move on, that I would find another person. That
Maybe,
also,
but maybe you can also help him to grow and heal, you know? But first
yeah,
is to go deep within yourself. It's not about, so this is not about him, it's about you. Yeah. Go inside yourself, go inside ourselves to find who we are and stay in that, honor, stay in that. And start being able to connect with ourselves, shine our light, shine our love, shine our compassion for him and for yourself. Yeah, because we also need to have compassion for them. And if you can, you know, if first heal our own wounds, yeah, your wounds is you all these years you do not see your own value.
yeah, that's right. I didn't see my own value.
Yeah, you don't
I
see,
underappreciated myself.
yeah, your own power and your light. So this is first thing need to really heal that, yeah, and then starting to, and then from there have compassion for yourself and for others, for him as well, you know. Either case, you know, whether it doesn't, you don't have to attach to the outcome. Yeah, the life is
Mm-hmm.
beautiful every moment, with or without him, it's all can be beautiful. But we also have compassion for others. Yeah, we want to help everyone that's in our life, no matter what. He's, you know, he's your children's father, so you want to help,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whoever, we want to help them. Yeah, especially somebody so close to you. But first heal ourselves first, and only when we heal ourselves we can help others to heal.
Mm.
Yeah. So so this is wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, processing this and teaching us. So what you can do right now, maybe have a deep breath, breathe into your lower abdomen, connect with your own power. So this is one thing with breathing to the lower abdomen, connecting with, and breathe there and feel it. Feel your lower abdomen, feel your body, and connecting with the power. The lower abdomen is our center of power. And feel the body, how we can connect with our powers. And to become aware. So what kind of thoughts, feelings, sensations come up? The ideas. So I will give beloved Winnie a healing and a blessing, maybe help her and to release those negative information since her childhood, not feeling now be honored, respected, treasured. Yeah, women supposed to be treasured. We are greatest gifts to the world, to anyone's life. To have greatest honor. I want to give you healing to have greatest honor, respect, appreciation about ourselves, releasing those negative informations. So this is the root cause for beloved Winnie have created this, negative results. But that's okay. This is moment, as she said, it happened to help her deeply connect with her true self, which is she's brilliant and she is beautiful and she's truly loved by the source, and the God and source is right within her, and the source loves her so much and support her and protect her in every moment. So we will do, I will do on chakra bless, give her a healing blessing. And maybe we do demo the so maybe every Dao hands healer, we can give her healing. I will give her crown chakra blessing. Mm-hmm. To give her, maybe let's do a Dao calligraphy blessing. I'll do a Dao calligraphy blessing. And Winnie is actually supporting Dao Science Committee. And so I'll give her Dao Science, Dao calligraphy blessing for her to really, release this negative information so that she can, from her heart, really honor, respect herself and know her value, know her power. And also have compassion for herself and for his, husband. Dao Science calligraphy blessing for beloved Winnie start. So maybe we could come up with calligraphy everybody can trace for her, and also When we're tracing, we also receive healing. We bless others, we are also blessing ourselves. So maybe what I can do, into this Dao hands. Yeah. So maybe we can all, so this is Dao calligraphy. Can also, everybody can close your eyes, connecting with this Dao calligraphy field. And then we can choose Dear Dao calligraphy field. Everybody, you can trace and give blessing to Winnie. So, hey, ya, ya, yo, 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 yo. Hey, ya, 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 yo, 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 yo. So Dao calligraphy field, this is a healing technology. I like to say it's a healing technology created by Master Sha, to help us to quickly release the negative information in our field that creates the trauma and create the wounds inside of us. So those are the root cause of all traumas and wounds. So if we can release it, then we can turn the trauma around and use it as an empowerment to unleash our higher potentials. Yeah, 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 yo, 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 yo. So this moment, so this negative information that is from the culture, beloved Winnie grew up in Hong Kong, I believe. This from the culture, from the tradition, from the family, this negative information is stored in her, every part of her body. So this blessing is releasing a lot from her, from in every, from her sexual organs, from the lower abdomen, has so much negative information that lower down her power and or make her just like make her stress, worry, and just all her reactions in her life is being shaped by this kind of a negative information. Don't think she has a power. She's, she has everything she has. Mm-hmm. And also there's a lot of blockages in her heart. to really experiencing the true love for herself and for others. So much blockage has been released in her heart. The heart now is some deep, deep, deep things. Blockages and wounds being healed. The heart is being nourished. So now the heart is radiating so much more light, expanded many, many times long, much bigger. And also now that light is going up to her head, releasing her some mindsets, belief systems, and also the blockages in the mind. So keep breathing into the lower abdomen, connect with your core, your foundation. Connect with the source that is right within you. And feel now her crown, that this blockage in the head is released. Now the source light and God's light is shining through her. She's now connected with the source light and love to nourish her mind, nourish her heart, nourish her body and energy field. How. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you can finish the tracing. Thank you so much for helping Winnie. And when we help others to heal, we're healing ourselves. And Winnie's healing she's not just healed for herself, she's healing for the whole culture and for the whole family, her whole lineage.
Thank you so much, Master Roland, and everyone who traced. I felt that my heart is very open, and I feel like a lot of the negative information left my head, and I also felt that a lot of the programming actually left via my big toe, so that's the spleen channel. So a lot of the worries, you know, any worries about feeling like I'm not enough, or I'm not safe. I tend to look at the world with this pain filter, like men is out to attack me or men's out to hurt me, and I just felt a lot of worries actually come out of my big toe. So that was really nice.
Wow. Yeah. You see all those negative information stored in you, if it's not being released, it would take you a long time suffering in real life. You have experienced that suffering. And so I'm so glad you see this is so important for her to receive this healing. That's so wonderful. Anybody else want to share the experience? So Anne, would you like to share?
Thank you so much, Dr. Aline. Thank you, Winnie. It's really incredibly moving and really profound. And I feel it's, this intergenerational trauma that's been carried around has, been looked at and released on such a deep level. I actually personally felt when I was tracing the calligraphy of going into the calligraphy, and so much was changed in the messages that I had experienced myself. So I'm really deeply grateful. So grateful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Priscilla, would you like to share? Thank you so much, Anne. That's so beautiful.
I'd like to share a little bit of what I...
Yeah, please go ahead, Paul. Thank you.
Congratulations, Winnie. That was just so much. Heaven loves you so much. The Dao Science Committee, Berlin has such extraordinary power, and they were just holding you and releasing so many, that just not just this lifetime, other lifetimes. The ancestors were present. There was a lot of release. As Relene indicated, there was a lot of release related to the cultural aspects, how it was locked into many areas of your body. And what I was shown was that this, it has created a whole new ability to see what you haven't been able to see. Because there's the what you have been seeing is through pain-filled eyes, so to speak. And there was so much released that you will be able to see things and interpret things in a significantly different way because of this blessing. There was so much positive information put in place that you should see that in the not too distant future, just a different perspective on things. That's what I wanted to share.
Thank you so much, Paul, for being here.
Master Roland.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, so Master Roland, yeah, this is Tina. Winnie, I can completely imagine how difficult it might seem at this time. But what I want to tell you is that you already have been prepared by heaven to be the torch bearer for our culture. I'm Indian. I can completely relate to everything you've said. Our cultures are very similar. And you have been given this platform to transform all the women, all the Asian women, you know. And what I feel is that unless we personally experience the pain, we can try to understand somebody else's pain, but then not at that depth. So by having this experience, you will be able to connect with such a large population. And you also mentioned your dream of traveling around the world. And not just Asia, there are so many other cultures where women are not treated equally. And you are in such good hands. You have the power of Master Shah's teachings. You have Dr. Rulin. You have been prepared. You have been empowered for this. So I don't know. I feel this is the divine plan. And I just have this such a strong sense of power and courage in me. I'm feeling that you will be able to use and help so many other lives. So just please remember, all our love, all our support is with you. Do not feel alone. And with Dr. Rulin, what else can you ask for? So yeah, so sending you all my love from all my heart. And I know everybody here feels the same. So it's from all of us. Love you so much. Thank you, Dr. Rulin.
Thank you, Tina. And Joanne, would you like to share? And I know you wrote on the board, maybe you can share directly. Joanne, look.
Can I share, Master Rulin?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Winnie. I want to thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing what you're going through right now. It must be really hard. I can't apples to apples, like, imagine what you're going through because I'm not married, but I definitely can relate to you feeling less or not valuable or not less than your brothers, not as good as your brothers, even though you are smarter and beautiful. So when Master Rulin was giving the blessing, I just immediately felt like huge crown on my head. So I can only imagine what like the weight of the blessing that you received. I'm really happy for you, and I'm happy to be here. And like Master Rulin said, I think we're all connected at a certain level and a certain degree, and I'm just happy for you. I mean, it's not the best time for you right now, maybe, but I know you're going to heal and become a better person. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Yeah, let me do a flow for Winnie. And I think, everybody shares something very important like Tina said, that you are already are, Winnie, you are helping to healing humanity, by you step up to be the demo and sharing something very vulnerable to you with us and going through this demo. You're not healing yourself, you are healing women worldwide. And in one day, like Tina said, you are right now being prepared one day to help um, women, millions, billions of women, they're suffering the similar things. It's not just Asia, in the West, women also being treated as an object, for their body. And are we really honored, respected because who we really are, and do we really honor ourselves? So that is also a part. We need to first honor, respect ourselves. And even the society, we have to release those negativity and those negative informations. So this is what is healing today is about. So I will do a flow for you. Dearest beloved Winnie, we want to thank you for have the courage to share your deepest, most vulnerable trauma with everyone today, be the demo. You're stepping up is calling all women step up to face the most vulnerable part of ourselves. To release the deepest trauma, the negativity that's been putting on women for thousands of years. It is to awaken women, start to love, honor, respect, appreciate themselves. Know that they are equal. They are equally loved, equally blessed, equally and unlimitedly supported and protected by divine and source in the infinite way. Dearest, beloved Winnie, you are so loved. Feeling our love, the source love. Open your heart to feel our love. Connect with us. Be our channel to spread love, spread peace, spread equality, spread light, beauty, compassion, humility, harmony, gratitude, service, enlightenment to humanity and all beings. Hey yo, yo, hey yo, 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 hey yo, hey yo, yo, yeah, hey yo. everyone, we'd like to make a calling to each one of you and want to bless each one of you to face your deepest wounds, trauma, and challenges. Be empowered by them to step up to your higher powers, to your higher potentials, to your true self, like Winnie is now doing. To heal the deepest trauma and wounds, to become the channel for the source. The source is right within each one of you, loving you, supporting you. And protecting you, giving you unlimited love, prosperity, joy, everything you ever want and beyond you can ever comprehension. So step up to these higher potentials. To be able to step up to this higher potential, first is to face the wounds and the trauma that is within you and release them. Let go of them. To be empowered by them. Be empowered. Be enlightened by the trauma and wounds. Suffering and enlightenment come hand in hand. Suffering is for enlightenment. Enlightenment can only be achieved when facing the suffering, when we face the trauma and wounds, we can be liberated and be enlightened. So I'm calling everyone to join us on April 3rd on the Dao Science Women's Empower Workshop to heal the trauma and wounds of inequality, disconnection, and separation. To go deeper, to connect with your true self, connect with the source, release, let go of the separation and inequality. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you so much, Winnie. You are really healed by stepping up. You are healing all of us, and you are healing something very, very profound, very deep, healing the culture wounds. So I'm so grateful for you. And do you have something to say before we end today's evening?
I, just really love you, Master Rulin, and, everyone here that has sent me text messages and trace calligraphy for me. I feel tremendously blessed. And I think that, Master Rulin, this women empowerment or healing series is such an important, there's such a big need right now, and I think that there must be a God's plan here, right? It's just like, okay, this happened yesterday. So, it's very fresh and yeah, it's very enlightening to see that, even though I have the same degree from the same college with a better GPA, that I can still, without me knowing, hold the belief that I'm less than a man, to know that I see the God in him, but not the God in me, you know, that I actually don't value, love, or appreciate myself or honor myself. And that's why I carry this negative information and I'm attracting that in my field.
Yeah, and causes the effects, you know, and so now you can laugh at it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's how Dao Science works. So yeah, so we need to change the negative information into positive information. And yeah, I'm really excited about, I already signed up for the workshop on April 3rd, so we can follow up and see how much change I have had.
Yeah, like Tina said, you're being now chosen. I think heaven has a plan to choose you in the future to help millions and millions of women to release, you know, what you have gone through. Because I can teach Dao Science, but I don't have your experience, you know. We all have different experience, but you are being prepared to help many people with what you have experienced. And that message is so powerful, you know, just like today you demonstrate we all have experience. It's so powerful. And like right in front of this most beautiful woman, had graduated from MIT, I guess same degree as her husband. Don't think she's, you know, and yeah, it's just, you know, and it's just what an education, you know. Thank you so much for enlightening all of us and touch our heart. Thank you. And thank you everyone for being here, supporting each other. And that's Marie, would you like to share? I know you have always beautiful messages.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here. I'm crying tears of happiness for you, beloved Winnie. I honor you so deeply, beloved. It is the perfect timing, if we ever wonder about that, in terms of this happening just for this weekend. I was receiving deep healing, beloved, while I was listening to you, because I also was in a violent marriage and I attracted a mirror, which I was not ready to own. And I have much in common with you. And so I was so beyond grateful to be here to offer you healing, because we truly heal together. I was shown such a beautiful image, Winnie, and I believe it's for everyone here, but I'll share it for you, Winnie, of the most incredibly delicate but powerful, strong Dao light staircase of soul evolution, of golden silver light particles rising up from your first chakra to your crown chakra. And there was countless ancestors climbing these stairs of deep supplication, deep gratitude, because they know that you're healing for so many, Winnie, for so many, as everyone here in the class tonight has said, it's yourself, your own lineage, and for women everywhere. And this is so monumental. The women were rising up in deep supplication, deep gratitude, deep silence, and utter reverence, Winnie, for what happened here tonight. I put in the chat box with total love for you and total respect for you that this situation, I believe, like Master Berlin and everyone else, some people have said, this has arisen now, the situation with your partner, because you're ready when you're ready for the light that Tao wants to bring through and needs to bring through, and needs to bring through us all, needs to bring through men and women. This is a calling for the rebalancing of the yin yang across all eons. The soul light era is a rebalancing of 15,000 years times 3 and much, much more for planets, stars, galaxies, and universes. So we cannot underestimate this course, this introduction tonight, and God choosing you, Winnie, as a demo. This is so profound. This is so beautiful, and it's such an honor to be here. You are blessed, and we are so blessed to be here as a group tonight. I am so honored. Thank you for the honor to share, Dr. Renee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Renee. This is beautiful. Yeah, and also homework for Renee and for everyone. If Renee is a chant, I am the inheritor of the whole cosmos. I am loved, protected, and supported by the whole cosmos, divine Tao and source. And yes, and stay in that vibration, feel the divine's love for you. Know that you are the inheritor of the whole cosmos, not just a boy.
And our father was over the moon. He was going to have his son, and his life was going to have meaning. And he had 5 brothers, and it was the British aristocracy, and he wasn't going to let the family down by having girls. And then his beloved wife not only had 1 girl, but she had twin girls.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he was devastated when he actually never got over it. He said we wrecked his life, and now we can say that with some humor and some gratitude and some insight as to karma. But I just thought I'd put that out there. And then like your father wanted a son, so many men want sons, and we understand this. So my mom went on to have daughter after daughter after daughter. And it was my father's gift to understand that. And he never accepted that gift. And so I understand that this is a cultural healing for everyone. My father had 5 brothers, and he went on to have 5 daughters himself. So I just thought I'd put that out there. It's truly, truly healing for all of us. And it's okay, Relyn, whether you say Renee or Maria. You know what? It's fine. I need to melt my ego, so I'm not correcting you. Please forgive me. I love everyone here. Thank you. Sorry for the extra time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Love you. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. Your presence is so healing for everyone. Each one of us are the vehicle to help the world to heal. So thank you for being here, and looking forward to be in a workshop and to go deeper. We have a whole day, and so we can go deeper to feel the love and feel the healing and the releasing, and go deeper into who we really are. Yeah. And release, let go of the things that does not really belong to us. So thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Love you,
Love
Dr.
you.
Lynn.
Love
Love
you,
you,
everyone.
Winnie.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Love you, Winnie. We love you, Winnie.
Peace, dreams.
This is
night.
from Vancouver.
Good night. Love you.